Hello guys! Back again with the Raccoon Channel. This time I will recommend the game Adventure Action RPG according to my subscribe's request with the name Spider-Man. But before we get to the main topic, don't forget to click the subscribe button and also the bell button so you can always get updated information about games from us. These are the top 10 best adventure games for
If you try, you just might get a little bit of trouble. K-N-I-F-E, right in your side. You will never see me coming. You gon' die if you try. You just
Eternium could be a free-to-play activity role. Play amusement created by making fun. Inc. The diversion was to begin with Discharged in 2014 and is accessible on numerous stages. Counting iOS, Android, and PC, in Eternium, players take on the part of a legend battling against fiendish strengths in a daydream world. The amusement highlights a broad single-player campaign, as well as multiplayer modes where players can group up to acquire on challenges together. Eternium employments a tap to move control framework, which permits players to move their character by tapping on the screen. Combat is additionally tap-based, with players utilizing different spells and capacities to vanquish adversaries. The amusement highlights a wide assortment of weapons, armor, and other hardware that can be collected and updated all through the amusement. One of the interesting perspectives of Eternium is that it can be played completely offline, making it a well-known choice for players who need a portable amusement they can play without a web association. In any case, the diversion moreover highlights online multiplayer modes for players who need to group up with others.
if you try, you just might get a little bit of trouble. K-N-I-F-E, right in your side. You will never see me coming. You gon' die if you try. You just might get a little bit of trouble. K-N-I-F-E, right in your side. You will never see me coming.
Grimvalor is an action-packed hack and /platformer diversion created by Direlight and distributed by Nitrome. The amusement highlights fast-paced combat, challenging platforming, and a dim, barometrical world filled with privileged insights and riddles to reveal. In Grimvalor, players take on the part of a solitary warrior who must investigate a reviled castle, fight dangerous animals, and reveal the truth behind the fiendish that plagues the arrive. Along the way, players will collect effective weapons and capacities, update their aptitudes, and confront off against epic bosses. The amusement has gotten positive surveys for its challenging gameplay, well-designed levels, and dazzling design. In the event that you appreciate action-packed platformers with a dull and air tone, Grimvalor is unquestionably worth checking out.
So I need a first-class ticket to the top, no limit. I don't play no gimmicks, I'ma take you to the clinic. If you want a taste, come at me and you will be replaced. They won't find a trace of you anywhere or any place.
You gon' die if you try. You just might get a little bit of trouble. K-N-I-F-E, right in your side.
Implosion! Never lose hope! Maybe a hack and /activity amusement created by Ray Arcans. It was to begin with Discharged in 2015 for iOS and Android stages and afterward ported to Nintendo Switch and Steam. The diversion is set in a post-apocalyptic world where humankind is on the brink of termination. Players take on the part of a human warrior named Jake, who pilots a capable mecha suit called Avalon to battle against the outsider trespassers and spare the remaining people. Implosion. Never lose hope highlights fast-paced, seriously combat with an assortment of weapons and abilities to select from. Players can overhaul and customize their Machia suit, opening used capacity. The game's design are amazing, with high-quality 3D models and situations that bring the post-apocalyptic world to life. The story is additionally well-developed, with bounty of turns and turns to keep players locked in. Iron Blade Medieval Legends may be a portable activity RPG created by Gamloft. The diversion is set in a dull and abrasive medieval world, where players take on the part of a legend battling against fiendish strengths that debilitate the arrive.
You gon' die if you try. You just might get a little bit of trouble. K-N-I-F-E, right in your side. You will never see me coming. You gon' die
The amusement highlights an assortment of diversion modes, counting a single-player campaign, multiplayer PvP fights, and agreeable attacks. Players can select from different classes such as the Templar, the Berserker, and the Professional Killer, each with their claimed special capacities and play styles. As they advance through the amusement, they can overhaul their gear, create modern things, and open unused aptitudes to end it up indeed more effective. The Diversion 2 highlights staggering design and seriously combat mechanics, counting extraordinary moves, combos, and wrapping up moves. Moreover, Iron Blade Medieval Legends incorporates a strong social framework, permitting players to connect societies, chat with companions, and compete in worldwide occasions to win rewards and climb the leaderboards. Lara Croft Geo could be a turn-based perplex video diversion created by Square Enix Montreal and discharged in 2015. The amusement is portion of the Tomb Looter establishment and highlights the notorious character Lara Croft as the hero. In Lara Croft, Geo players must explore Lara through arrangement of progressively challenging levels filled with The amusement contains an interesting stylish that mixes classic Tomb Pillager components with a moderate plan propelled by classic board recreations. Players must utilize methodology and problem-solving abilities to unravel confuses and reveal insider facts as they advance through the diversion. As the player advances, unused capacities and apparatuses are opened that permit them to access new zones and fathom more complex confuses. By and large, Lara Croft Geo could be a fundamentally acclaimed amusement that provides a one-of-a-kind and challenging confused involvement for fans of the Tomb Pillager establishment and perplex recreations in common.
Is next level, so damn you better be careful. I got an angel and devil, he stabs me straight in the temple. I'm ready to be a rebel, I've got a lot of potential hidden inside of this vessel. That shit is so exponential. I need a first class ticket to the top, no limit. I don't play no gimmicks, I'ma take you to the clinic. If you want a taste, come at me and you will be replaced. They won't find a trace of you anywhere.
Ninja Ryuko Shadow Ninja game may be a portable amusement developed by Ketchup and discharged in 2018. Within the diversion, you play as a ninja named Ryuko who must explore through different levels filled with impediments and foes, utilizing your ninja aptitudes to overcome them and reach the conclusion of the level. The gameplay is straightforward and instinctive, with players swiping cleared out and right to move Ryuko, tapping to bounce, and swiping up to perform a twofold hop. You'll moreover assault foes by tapping the screen and collect coins and power-ups to progress your capacities. The amusement highlights colorful, cartoonish design and a fast-paced arcade-style soundtrack. It moreover incorporates different challenges and achievements to keep players locked in and motivated. Generally, Ninja Ryuko Shadow Ninja game could be a fun and addictive portable amusement that provides a fulfilling blend of activity, enterprise, and platforming.
I got a switch in my head, I go from living to dead. You got me seeing all red, now I'm becoming a threat. I fucking heard what you said, I'll make you have some regrets. And no, I never forget, so now you have a few debts. That shit, it needs to be paid with blood or some sort of pain.
Oddmar could be a versatile platformer amusement. Created by MobG Limited, the diversion was at first discharged on iOS in April 2018 and afterward on Android and Nintendo Switch. The amusement takes after the story of Oddmar, a Viking who is attempting to redeem himself after a life of sluggishness and self-centeredness. Within the diversion, players control Oddmar as he hops and battles his way through different levels filled with adversaries and obstacles. The diversion highlights hand-drawn craftsmanship and a soundtrack propelled by Nordic folklore. It, moreover, features an assortment of power-ups and unlockable capacities that players can utilize to assist them advance through the diversion. The amusement has gotten positive audits for its gameplay, illustrations, and music. It was too granted the Apple Plan grant in 2018. On the off chance that you appreciate platformer recreations with an interesting storyline and excellent visuals, Oddmar is certainly worth checking out.
You just might get a little bit of trouble, K-N-I-F-E, right in your side. You would never see me coming.
Space Marshals 3 may be a portable diversion created by Pixelbyte, a Swedish amusement development company. It is the third installment within the Space Marshals arrangement and was discharged on November 26, 2020 for iOS and Android gadgets. In Space Marshals 3, players take on the part of Burton, a space marshal who is rusted with following down and capturing and guarding. The amusement highlights a blend of stealth, methodology, and activity gameplay, with players being able to select their possess approach to completing missions. The diversion incorporates a variety of weapons, contraptions, and capacities that players can utilize to require down adversaries and overcome deterrence. There are two extend of foes to confront, each with their possess interesting capacities and behaviors. One of the standout highlights of Space Marshals 3 is its design and visual plan, with highly detailed situations and character models that bring the game's sci-fi setting to life. The amusement, moreover, highlights a unique soundtrack that makes a difference to submerge players within the game's world.
My energy is next level, so damn you better be careful. I got an angel and devil, he stabs me straight in the temple. I'm ready to be a rebel, I've got a lot of potential hidden inside of this vessel. That shit is so exponential. I need a first class ticket to the top, no limit. I don't play no gimmicks, I'ma take you to the clinic. If you want a taste, come at me and you will be replaced. They won't find a trace of you anywhere.
Stormblades could be a portable diversion created by Kiluo and distributed by SYBO Diversions. It was discharged for iOS and Android gadgets in 2015. When the amusement, the player controls a warrior equipped with a sword and a shield and must progress through a arrangement of levels, doing combating against adversaries and bosses to gather demons and over their hardware. The gameplay is centered on fast-paced activity and key combat, with the player requiring to evade and repel adversary assaults, whereas two landing their claim strikes. The diversion highlights assortment of situations, from rich woodlands to dim caverns, and a run of diverse foes, each with their own qualities and shortcomings. Stormblades, moreover, incorporates a making framework, permitting players to form and update their weapons and armor utilizing assets collected amid gameplay. The diversion is free to play, but offers in-app buys for players who need to advance more rapidly or procure premium things.
I got a switch in my head, I go from living to dead. You got me seeing all red, now I'm becoming a threat. I fucking heard what you said, I'll make you have some regrets. And no, I never forget, so now you have a few debts. That shit, it needs to be paid with blood or some sort of pain. You caused a permanent stain with
Xenowork could be a top-down activity shooter diversion created and distributed by Pixelbyte for versatile gadgets. The amusement was to begin with discharged in 2015 for iOS and Android gadgets. In Xenowork, players take on the part of a solitary warrior who is sent to inquire about Office Profound Underground to kill an episode of mutants accused by a fizzled try. The diversion is set in a dim and foreboding air, with players having to explore through levels whereas doing combating against an assortment of mutant adversaries. The amusement highlights of assortment of mutant adversaries. The amusement highlights of assortment of weapons and gear that can be overhauled as players advance through the levels. Xenowork 2 incorporates a survival mode, where players are entrusted with surviving for as long as conceivable against an unending wave of mutants. Generally, Xenowork has gotten positive surveys for its locks in gameplay, challenging trouble, and noteworthy design and sound plan. In the event that you appreciate activity shooter diversions with the Cypax, Xenowork may be wait. So that's the top 10 best adventure games for Android iOS high graphics. The best recommendation for my version. Of course, it will give a special impression when playing it, especially making the playing experience even more exciting because it is supported by a stunning graphic display that is pleasing to the eye. Thank you for watching this video. I hope our recommendation can be useful and see you in the link app.
I got a switch in my head, I go from living to dead. You got me seeing all red, now I'm becoming a threat. I fucking heard what you said, I'll make you have some regrets. And no, I never forget, so now you have a few debts. That shit, it needs to be paid with blood or some sort of pain. You caused a permanent stain, which has determined your fate. I've never seen so clear, I feel the end and it's near. The day of reckoning's here, the sound of deafening fear.